your life still looks almost the same as it did 2 years ago, then you need to stop and ask yourself why. Because life is not supposed to stay the same forever. I mean, you should be growing, learning, improving, like moving forward. Something has to change. It
Yes,
can't be the same year in, year out. But
absolutely.
many people, you know, wake up every day, stay very busy, and still remain the same as the years pass by.
True. And just because time is going, how, whether you like it or not, time is going. I mean, that's one thing that you cannot pause. You cannot stop time.
Exactly.
You can pause every other thing, but not time, right? And just because time is going doesn't mean that there's progress happening, actually.
Mm.
It is important to note that so someone says that because you're aging does not mean you're growing.
Growing.
Right?
That's funny, but
So
it's true.
yeah, so some people think that okay, at least I'm trying, at least
Mm.
I'm surviving, at least I'm busy. You know how you're very busy, life can throw you stuff that will just keep you busy morning to night, you're exhausted at the end of the day. But if you really check, are you really growing? Like, being busy is not necessarily the same thing as growing. And so you can spend years upon years running round and round in circles. You know how they say the hemisphere circle. I mean, I've forgotten the name of that stuff, but you can just be running round
Just
and
keep
round in
going
circles,
round.
just be going, and you're busy. You
Yeah.
By the end of the day, there's no much progress. There's no actual moving forward.
Forward. And I like to add that you're even working hard.
Yes, so sweating.
Really. So if you keep repeating the same habits,
Yes.
the same thinking pattern, the same decisions, your life will most likely stay the same.
Absolutely.
Now, because different results usually come from different actions.
True.
So in our live session today, we're going to be having a conversation around while some people progress really fast and then others stay stuck.
You know, this is a very interesting conversation, and looking at it right now, I'm thinking about my own life too. Like, like there are several other places where I I know I'm supposed to grow,
Yeah.
but you know how you just feel like, okay, it's a lot. Let me just keep doing what is familiar. That brings us to the first point of this conversation today. Comfort usually will keep you stuck. Comfort will always keep you stuck. You know how we're used to routine, and
Yeah.
sincerely, that's how the brain is built. The brain is built to help you survive. The brain is built, to avoid chaos, to avoid pressure,
Yeah.
as it were. And so we stay on a routine. This is what I know, right? These are the people around me that I know. Routine. We keep. This is the environment I know. This is what I have known so far. So nothing new, nothing changed. And even if you still complain in that position, you're still complaining and sad in the position. But because it's familiar, it's a familiar situation.
Something you're
Used to. You don't want to even think of. And sincerely, that's how the brain works. We don't want to think of, uncertainty.
Yeah.
Like, if you step out from that familiarity or that familiar zone, is uncertainty. And we choose to, complain even in the comforts, right? This is comfortable complaint. And so we prefer the familiar problems instead of the uncomfortable, growth or progress. Growth is hard. Growth is a stretch. It's uncertainty. All right. And so gradually, comfort is stealing your years. Comfort is stealing your life without you noticing at all. You're not even noticing that this is what is happening, because you just rather complain in that familiar environment than step into the unknown, right?
Yeah.
And so you stop learning, you stop trying new things, you stop even taking risks at all, because maybe the last risk you took
You got
burnt
burnt.
you. And sincerely, thinking about my life too, I'm just imagining many other places in my life where you know how you try out something, it doesn't work, you just say, you know what,
I'm not trying this again. Never.
you know. And so comfort seems peaceful, it
Yeah.
feels peaceful,
Mhm.
but most times it's quietly keeping you small,
So
you know.
what do you even think makes people want to remain in that comfort,
Again, it's just uncertainty.
right?
The point
So
is, you don't even want to, we usually don't like surprises, as it were.
yeah,
You know, just stay where you know, this is what I know, you know,
and
stuff
then
like that.
just be comfortable. And
Mm-hmm.
again, I also think that why people, would not want to take risks is simply because of one reason,
Mm-hmm.
on fear.
Exactly.
Fear. And this brings us to our second point today.
Yes.
Fear of change delays progress.
Mm.
Now, a lot of people simply just believe that maybe they are lazy, but they are not lazy. They are just afraid,
Exactly.
afraid of failing. Like I had a question somewhere. They said, if you are so sure that you would start a business and you succeed in that business 100%, won't you start that business?
I mean, you will.
Of course, right?
Mm.
But because you're not so sure of the outcome
Mm.
of starting that business, and then you're so afraid, you refuse to take risks. You don't
Yeah.
want to fail.
Mhm.
Nobody wants to fail. Nobody wants to
actually.
be a
It's
failure,
not a
right?
nice feeling.
Yes, it's not a
Mm.
nice feeling.
Yes.
A lot of people are afraid of making mistakes. They're afraid of leaving what feels safe, right? What feels comfortable, like you
Yes.
mentioned earlier. So instead of moving forward, you keep waiting for the perfect time. And that perfect time, I think, is an illusion.
Yes, actually, it is.
Yes, so you overthink every decision. Maybe you're supposed to start a project tomorrow and then you move it to next month. And then you keep moving it till 2026 comes to an end. And before you know it, we're already in 2027.
telling
And then you
you.
see someone else start that same project. And then you're like, I wanted to do this thing last year. I even made plans. See, I saved up,
Yes.
but you never took action. You
Yes,
never,
sir.
made that bold move, right? So this delay opportunities, you keep saying that, oh, okay, I'll start next month, I'll do it later. I'm still thinking about it. This is even the worst of it. Like, you're thinking about it until you no longer can, like, when you conceive an idea, there's this joy, there's this excitement,
Yes.
right? When the idea is fresh, you need to take action. But you overthink until that excitement quietly dies down. You start asking yourself if you even have ideas. Meanwhile, the way we are created in God's image and likeness, we are powerful beings, right? We can, do anything we set our minds to do. So, but life rewards movement.
Yes.
So you cannot stay in the same place and expect to get a reward. Nobody figures out everything before they begin. And
Yes.
sometimes progress starts with one uncomfortable step, right?
Yes.
I remember when I planned to move to Abuja in 2024. So I spent a couple of months brooding over my decision, right? And then it now got to August of that year, something I wanted to do since February. And then before the month ended, I was like, wait, though, if I'm still brooding over this, I'll remain in this
Brood yourself
place.
out of it.
Exactly. So one fateful morning, I quietly packed my bags and left, and came to Abuja, right? So imagine if I kept on brooding over that decision. I guess I won't be here today,
Yes.
right? So you cannot change your life if you are afraid to change your actions. And it's very, very important. The
Yes.
difference between who you are today and who you were yesterday
Yes.
is as a result of the actions that you took yesterday.
Absolutely.
So if you want a better tomorrow, you need to start, making the moves today,
Yes.
so that your tomorrow will not be the same.
Absolutely. And one of the major challenges or problems, like I have experienced and I think you have experienced as well, is just lack of planning. I think that's the major thing. You know how I mean, we've heard this statement several times, now sounding like a cliche. Hope is not a strategy. Hope is not a strategy.
Yeah.
And even the Bible, the good book says that who wants to build a house and doesn't, settle down to count the cost? That is, look at the challenge. Okay, so this is the thing I want to do, and here's the strategy I'm going to take to achieve it. Planning. So a lot of us just hope things will work. A lot of us just hope that, somehow if I pray so much about it, it thing will just work, or somehow if I think very well, and you know how motivational speakers will tell us things like, and there's nothing wrong with motivation actually, it's just most times when it's not backed with action, then I think that's a problem. Or when the motivational speakers do not balance your action plan to it. I think that's where I may have a very big problem to be inspired to aspire to perspire and expire, and so this is where the rubber actually meets the road, is in planning. So this is what I want to achieve. What are the first steps to achieving it? And most times it's not as if we don't want to move. It's just that we, like you rightly said, overbrooding, and then it now enters analysis paralysis, because you're thinking of the whole journey from beginning to end.
To the end.
You're not thinking of, okay, first steps, next steps. Okay, good. I mean, it's just like driving at night. You don't see the whole road till the end. You just see the 20 meters that your headlamps take you to. But you trust that as you move, the road will be unfolding. The light to keep shifting, and so even like coming down a staircase, you don't see the whole thing from beginning to end, right? But you just hope that for every step you take, you move to another level. And so if there's no clear planning and clear strategy, every year will just look the same. You just wake up in the morning, sleep at night, pay bills, sleep, repeat tomorrow. Like a robot, AI.
And then for every 1st of January,
you still have what do you call that?
New Year resolution.
You still have resolution every year. But the key word I want us to note here is the word decide. Right? Decide. The root word from decide is day and side. Day means to cut. Side means to, day means off, like to cut off, to off, and then side is to cut. So it means that you're cutting off all other options. That's what decide literally means. So decide, so the word choose and the word decide, they are two different things. Choose, when you say, I choose to do this, it means that you have other options. I choose this or this. But decide means I'm cutting off every other option and I'm doing this. So I think if we begin to understand this, our focus will change. If we decide to achieve the things we want to achieve, our focus will change. And then, of course, back it up with a clear strategy and plan. You then see that your priorities change. And the truth is, a person without direction can stay busy year in, year out, and still go nowhere.
Now, this brings us to our fourth point today. Same habits will always give you same results. And sometimes we pray for change. We can spend months, days praying and fasting. See, don't get me wrong. I'm not against prayer. I'm not against fasting. But I'm against praying without taking action, or praying without changing your habits. Right? Now, you refuse to change these habits that are keeping you where you are, and it starts with the mind. Our mind is so powerful. We can conceive anything you believe, right? So it starts with changing how your mind thinks, what you focus your mind on, right? And then you stop giving excuses. Like my boss will always say, there are some reasonable excuses, right? You feel like this excuse is worth it.
It sounds nice.
It sounds nice. It's a good one, right? But at the end of the day, they are still excuses, right? And then you maintain the same spending habits. Imagine someone who intends to work towards a project. Maybe you're saving or you want to improve your finances.
Exactly.
But then your spending habits still remain the same. And then you wake up every day with the same routine. Nothing changes. Meanwhile, you've prayed, you've declared, but nothing changes. And then the most important one is you stay among the same circle of people, the same environment. Now, one of the I would say the life transforming things I learned in the year 2025 was to change your circle if you want to grow.
Yes.
If you want something to change in your life, you need to change the kind of people you hang out with, the environment where you hang out, the people you listen to, right? You need to change all of that. You can't say you want change in your life and then you're still doing the same thing. Maybe you wake up in a day, there's nothing you learn. You don't learn any new thing. You don't even hear the word of God, not even one in a day, right? So some of the things that are keeping you the same way you are simply your routine. So if you want change in your life, you need to change your routine. If before now you could wake up at any time of the day, I hear for you to have a great day, you need to wake up early. You need to start your day early, right? You wake up anytime you want, and you're not fast in doing things that you're supposed to do, and you're just there. Your day is not planned, just like he said. And at the end of the day, it simply means one thing: there is no plan, there is no direction. You don't know where you're heading to, and then you keep repeating the same things every day. That will not bring you the kind of change that you're looking for. Now, habits shape your future. And I would also add that it also builds your character over time, right? So small habits that are repeated every day eventually become your lifestyle. And that lifestyle builds your character. And that character eventually builds your future.
True.
So it starts small. It may look small, but it's something very, very important. So if nothing around you is changing, you may need to look at the things you keep repeating. I mentioned that earlier, because your life will usually follow your daily habits.
Absolutely. You know, a friend of mine recently told me, not so recently, like maybe a year ago, he told me that Jeff, he wants to go back to school. And he wants to go back to school to study for 4 years. And the first thing that came to my head, we're driving back from the airport that day. And the first thing that came to my head was 4 years, like 4 years.
Oh, 4 years.
Do you get? That's the first thing that came to my mind. And he said one, and it got me thinking about my own life. He said that, you know, Jeff, whether you like it or not, 4 years is going to come. So the point is, will you rather wait? I mean, he said this is the dream he has had for some time, you know, for the last, say, 3 years.
Wow.
And whether he likes it or not, 3 years has come. Do you get? Like, you can't pause time. You can't say time. You know what? Pause.
Let me play today.
Pause. I made mistake. Make I go back. You know, pause. Let me go back. You know, you know. And he told me that he said that whether you like it or not, 4 years will still come. The point is, would you have achieved this thing you wanted to achieve? Like, you can't just pause it, right? And so, to us now as well, let me not say 4 years, let me say 2 years. Let's be honest to ourselves, right? Like, in the last 2 years, has anything improved, right? Has your mindset improved? Has your income improved? Has your opportunities improved? The environment improved? Are you closer to what you want in life, right? And so the next 2 years will still come, right?
Exactly.
So if we decide to stay in the comfort zone, or we start to repeat our, you know, routine, like you rightly said, nothing necessarily changes. You just keep hoping and praying. You realize that the next 2 years will come and everything will still remain the same.
So time is your most valuable asset.
Yes, absolutely.
It is,
and
right?
time is not money.
Exactly.
I think that's a very lame statement. Time is not money, because you can lose money and get it back, but you cannot lose time and get it again.
Exactly.
It's gone, it's gone.
It's gone. Like, without repeat, yesterday. Yesterday was 12th May 2026. You can't come back again.
Yes.
So the real question is, when next year comes, right, will your life still look exactly the same as it is today. If you're tired of going in circles and you truly want to start making better decisions for your future, then maybe it's time to change how and where you position yourself.
Absolutely.
So if you're looking to maybe better your life, hang around people who encourage you,
Yes.
the kind of environment that will support this change you're looking for, then I think you should consider, reaching out to us.
All right. So that's it for today's conversation. I do hope you found something useful here. The goal is not to point fingers, or the goal is not to, um, you know, it's just a reminder. This conversation is just a reminder to all of us that sometimes comfort is your biggest enemy.
Yeah.
Sometimes familiarity and the fear of stepping out. Some people actually have, there's something called the fear of success. Like, what if it works? Can I handle it?
Yeah.
There's actually something like that, right?
I'm sure I can handle these
So,
millions or
am
these
I that kind of
billions.
person? So yeah.
You don't trust yourself.
Yeah. So if I mean, this is just a gentle reminder. This is no aspire to perspire to conspire and aspire. This is just a conversation to help us just remember that small little action every day in the right direction, even the uncomfortable action, is actually the way to grow and achieve our goals. So to come your way again, remember to always like, subscribe, share this video with another person that will need this type of conversations, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel,
Yeah.
so that you can see more and more of this type of conversations. If there's any area you think also you like us to talk about, you can just leave it in the comments. We will look at it and find a way to do that as well. Till we come your way again next time.
Have a great day.
Have a beautiful, 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 fantastic day. Bye for now.